Barlette with Times Union and timesunion.com, and welcome to 20 Things Plus, where we catch up with somebody previously featured on the Times Union's 20 Things You Don't Know About Me. Today we are joined by JoDee Kenney. JoDee is an anchor at Spectrum News Albany, and she's been there almost 20 years. Hi JoDee, welcome.
Thank you so much. When you say 20 years, I'm like, wow, how could that be? I'm only like 32 years old.
I'm also like 32 and I've been at the Times Union for more than 20, so it's amazing how fast it goes.
I know.
It is, and I'm obviously not really 32, but okay.
Me neither. But we won't tell anybody.
We will go over, you'll update us on a couple of your original things. We'll learn a few new things about you, and we'll play a game. So I remember when we talked in 2017, were you starting graduate school, or you were about to start graduate school, right? And you were on your way to get your master's, and you hope to complete that by 2018. Did you finish?
I did finish, and it was the most challenging task going back to school as an adult learner. So I really feel for people who are taking on the learning process and going back to college, as an adult, because when you're younger, your mind just kind of fires off in a different way, and you have a stronger memory, and you're quicker to learn the new things. But I had to learn how to keep track of things online as opposed to a book. In the beginning, I was printing everything off like old school and highlighting it. But my mind just kind of like developed, and I was able to do it. I'm really proud of my accomplishment, to be honest with you, because it was a challenge. My children, are athletes in school. So I was going to all of their meets, taking them to different meets throughout, the week, and having to take, 2 classes. By the time I got towards the end, I was taking probably 3 to 4 classes. So I was going to school full time, and I was anchoring full time and being a mom full time. So it was a big challenge. And I ended up graduating with honors, straight A's, inducted into Capital Alpha, which is a very strong, very well-known honor society for journalists. And I have to admit, I relished in my opportunity to go back as an adult learner, because I don't think I appreciated it as much when I was younger. I just wanted to get it done and get my life started. This time I was going back for me to better myself and to, be able to contribute to my profession in a different way. And I got a master's degree in journalism, specializing in social media. So I did it. I can't believe I did it.
You're already, you're a busy mom, you're working full time, and you were trying to go to school full time. That's a lot to manage. And I know when we talked originally, you were into scrapbooking, which I don't even know how you fit all that in with all that other stuff, but you've kind of now moved away from scrapbooking into a new hobby, right? What is that? What is your new hobby?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a creative by nature. I come from a family of creatives. My son is an amazing artist. My mother's an artist. My grandfather's an artist. I didn't get the art gene, so I can't paint, but I can scrapbook, and I like to document my children's life. I kind of feel like I'm letting them down because I'm not doing the scrapbooking anymore as much, just because I don't know. I want to try a lot of different things. So I have a couple things to show you. These are my first creations. I'm learning how to sew.
Oh my gosh, they're sleep masks. That's awesome.
They are sleep masks. I want to put one on, but I don't want to mess up my hair. So yeah, sleep masks. And so, now let me tell you, don't look too closely because they're not perfect. Yeah, there's imperfections, but you know what? I love it. And what I'm doing is I'm actually sharing it with people, my adventures. I'm a thrifter. I love thrift shopping. So, I take people along with me on my YouTube page, and we thrift. And then now I want to do thrift flips, where I take thrifted items and I flip them. So this actually is a curtain.
That's awesome. So you're using fabric from stuff that you find when you go thrift shopping.
And this is a t-shirt.
That's
and then, another curtain. So, and I'm actually working on, I was going to wear a shirt that I'm working on today for this interview, but let's just say it's taken a little longer than expected.
The front of a shirt and not a back. Are you doing this on a sewing machine or hand sewing? I'm guessing it's sewing machine if you're also making a shirt.
Yeah, I have a sewing machine. So, I'm not starting from scratch. Well, I'm going to try eventually to start from scratch. I have taken a couple of lessons, but like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a men's shirt and turn it into a woman's shirt. And you just kind of makes the different seams. I wish I would have had it done for you today because it's coming out really cute. But last night at like 11 o'clock, I was like with a seam ripper, really angrily watching YouTube going, how come you make this look so easy?
That's amazing. And sewing obviously became really popular in the last, let's say, oh gosh, we're almost going on a year now, 10, 11 months, because people
Yeah.
were making masks or they were home. So they were looking for activities. Were you finding it? I'm guessing you weren't finding it as hard to find fabric and things like that since you were using thrifted fabric and stuff like that, right?
Well, it's not hard for me too, because I obviously, as a news anchor, have a very large wardrobe. And, I've been various sizes. So, I just take from the sizes that I no longer wear and I can chop them up. But yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in fabrics, even with my scrapbooking. So, I had a stash of fabric, but yeah, you can, I mean, literally t-shirts, old t-shirts, things that you think you're going to get rid of, just put them in a pile and they can turn into something really cute. I'll have to send you a picture once I'm done with my shirt. It's coming out really cute, but I just couldn't make it for this. And, obviously as a novice trying to teach myself how to sew, there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road.
Well, those masks are pretty impressive. The eyes look the same size. It's not lopsided. It's not uneven.
Well,
That's
I'm
good.
going to be honest with you. They did start out much bigger. So it's kind of like,
well, they look good. Now they look like the perfect size. So at this point, we're going to learn a couple of new things about you. And the first one I'm so excited about, I think when I wrote you, invited you to do 20 plus, this is the thing I mentioned. I've seen you post on social that you got a new dog and he's so cute. So tell us about him.
yes. Okay. So a lot of people might know me as a cat person because I've had cats for the longest time. Sadly, my cat, I have 3 cats, my cat passed away. And, I don't know, my kids must have been doing their juju on me. And, I kept looking at these sad dogs and all of these people adopting dogs during the pandemic. And, I was looking at all these cute little puppies. Next thing you know, I'm researching little puppies. And yeah, next thing you know, I'm like, okay, after Thanksgiving, let's go get this puppy. So we went to a farm, I believe it was in Sherburne, like really far out. And they had one puppy left. And I felt so bad. I was like, why is this one puppy left? But, she walked around and there was this cute little lab. And he was just the sweetest little thing. He was much smaller than I thought. He was only 14 pounds. And he is a black and brown lab mix. So the mom is an American brown, or excuse me, chocolate, and the dad is a English black lab. And so he's called a brindle black lab. So he has a little bit of brown on his paws, and he's got a little bit of brown, like he's got brown eyebrows. It's so funny. But yeah, and I knew he was mine right away. I just had to take him home. Dogs are definitely a lot more work than cats. I am learning that right away.
It's
But
funny. We talked to a couple of people for 20 Things Plus over the last several months who have talked about dogs and saying it's kind of like they've gotten a dog during this and said it's kind of like having a newborn.
it is. I was up every 2 hours the first night with him, taking him out in the freezing cold, standing out there, questioning my decision in life. But we were out there, and then that morning I said, listen, buddy, we had a heart to heart. I was like, you and me, buddy, this can't happen again. I've already raised babies. You're gonna have to sleep through the night. And I think he understood me, because the next day he slept at least until 6:30 in the morning. And then now he's sleeping in a little bit later until I'm ready to get up, like 8.
I was gonna say you work nights, so obviously you need that morning time to sleep. What did you name him, and who came up with the name? Who in your family? Was it your choice since he's kind of your dog?
Okay, so yes, I came up with the name. And before I got the dog, I said I wanted to name my dog after a designer. And, because I'm into fashion and I love thrifting and I love finding the hunt to get, cool clothes. And I also love going to the store and finding designer clothes. And when I saw him, first of all, it was a guy. So it kind of took out some of the names I was thinking. I was thinking like Coco for Coco Chanel, but he definitely wasn't a Coco. And I thought maybe Karl Lagerfeld, because he's an amazing designer. Karl just passed away. What a tribute to Karl. But he wasn't a Karl. And I looked at him and I said, Calvin, he's Calvin Klein,
Oh my
Calvin
God.
Klein Kenny. And the reason why I picked Calvin Klein is because Calvin Klein was huge in the 80s and 90s as like this major, A-list designer, but he's become the designer of news anchors. Many news anchors were Calvin Klein because his clothes are not only well constructed, they're vibrant colors, and they're accessible in price. You can get them at Marshalls or TJ Maxx, you can even find them, secondhand. So he's a Carl. Or no, he's Calvin.
I was like, we dismissed Karl Lagerfeld, we're on to Calvin. That's awesome. That is perfect. And I like the way it all flows. Calvin Klein Kenny, it goes really well together.
My husband thinks it's ridiculous, but I love it.
I think it's adorable. All right, now the next one, you're going to talk to us about your studio, which I'm guessing is where you're sitting. You have the most fabulous lighting and the background, and I kind of need to know about it, and then I need to steal it and replicate it. So tell me how this happened.
Okay, so, I'm a thrifty girl, so everything I got in here is, besides my chairs, pretty much secondhand. This was an unfinished attic room. It still doesn't have heating or AC. So, I have a little bit of temperature challenge here. So I had the space heater on before we started, but in the summer, it's a little bit warm for people to come up here. I love it when it's warm. But basically we put walls in this room. We did it ourselves, painted it, put flooring in it, and, just started constructing what I thought I would want. I have a YouTube channel, and I also do a podcast, and I have been, doing some remote work. So this room has really turned into kind of a great place for me to create. So I come in here, I've got a wall of ivy, and I'm sure you have some pictures of this stuff. So I have a wall of ivy, and then I've got this set. This is a one-person set. It's basically so I can have a one-on-one with you. I also have a podcasting studio because, I do my podcast. So I go inside my podcast studio. It's like a little room that's all padded. So that way the sound is nice and rich. I also have a table where I have actually three different sets. If you look at it, I can sew. I can set up to do speaking engagements, so I could change the background shelves. And I also have a window, which is kind of more like a soft kind of talk to you type of table setting. And then I have a 2-person interview set with just 2 chairs and a table. And then I also have a backdrop where I can do photography. And I do have a light kit. I have 2 big lights. I got them on Amazon for, I think it was $150, nothing really expensive. But I love to come up here and create, to be honest with you. It's the one place that probably stays the cleanest in my house. I'm not gonna lie. I have teenagers and we're busy people. So if you ever stop by my house, just give me a call first so I can throw things in the closet.
No, this is the kind of attic where you're pulling the stairs down and then climbing up, or is it a walk-up attic?
No, it's a walk-up attic. So one side could have been a bedroom. Like this could have technically been a bedroom, but it was completely unfinished. It didn't have any flooring or walls. The other side, the people had used it as an office. So there's 1980s green carpet over there. It's amazing. So that room is much bigger.
Like I said, that is an enviable space between the lighting and the background. It's like, it's all perfection. If possible, it might even look better than a studio. So.
Well, thank you.
Looking very good. All right. And then you mentioned how you love your children. When we did your original 20 things, if I remember correctly, you had 1 in elementary school, 1 in middle, and 1 in high school, right? I've been watching you over the years. I know at least 1 has gone off to college, right?
Yes.
1 is in track, or maybe even got a track scholarship, if I remember correctly. So what are your kids doing now at 5 years later?
Okay. So I know everybody loves their kids, but I get a chance to brag about them. So I'm going to do it. Okay, so they're all teenagers now. My youngest is 13 years old. Because of the way they've done schooling, she is actually going to school in the high school now. We're in the Guilderland School District, so she goes up to the high school. She's still in 8th grade. But she would have been going up to the high school anyways, because she also does track on the track team, which I find that's a great transition. If I could share that with any parents out there who have kids that are athletically inclined, have them try to test up and try to go into the high school if they're in junior high. I found that for my 2 older kids, they had the easiest transition into high school because they already knew high school students.
Oh, right.
They already had a team. So I would highly recommend that. So Anissa, she's 13. She is a model. We're, exploring modeling options because she's as tall as me at 13. She's 5'9". So
Where's that height?
she is all legs. And then my daughter Trinity is 16. So she is a junior. And she, of course, is on the track team, been on the track team since she was 10. She also wants to be a doctor. So she's, working on getting excellent grades. I mean, if I can say one thing about the pandemic, it's really highlighted the challenges and abilities of children. And for my daughter Trinity, she's actually thrived in doing the remote learning. So she hasn't, she's actually gotten excellent grades. I won't go into detail, but just excellent grades being at home and in school. So she's handled the transition really well. And so I'm really proud of her for that. So we're now starting to look at colleges, and I know that's going to be an expensive venture, but with the grades that she has in the athletics, we're obviously hopeful that she can get into a good school with a scholarship. Yes, so Joseph is at Roanoke College in Virginia. He is 18 now. Wow, that's weird to say. It's so weird to say. He is 18. And he is a track athlete. So he got recruited to go to Roanoke College, and he just had his first meet this past weekend, and he won the triple jump. So, but he's so hard on himself, that he was like, no, I could have done better. My hip was hurting. And, as much as I try to encourage my children to be in the moment and experience and enjoy themselves, I see a lot of myself in all three of my children when it comes to their competitive nature and their drive and focus to be better. They don't want to compete against other people, and that's definitely not my goal. I don't look at other people for competition. I look at myself and I think to myself, how could I have done better? How could I have shown up better? How could I have performed better? How could I have looked, performed, spoken, taught, assisted better? And that's exactly how my children are. So my son's really critical of himself, but I was trying to tell him, just enjoy it. And he's like, yeah, but, and I see myself in them. I'm like, okay, I did that.
Well, I will say I follow both you and your husband on social media, and I've watched your kids grow up, and they all have these impressive extracurriculars and everything with school. And it's just nice to see, I'm a parent, obviously my kids are a little bit, quite a bit younger still, but I know that there's different stages in life, and it's nice to see just the ways that we're proud of our kids at different points in their lives, and just to see that you've prepared them with all these different things so they can go off to college and succeed and do really well. And to go off to college during a pandemic cannot be easy, especially, all the way down. Yeah, it's impressive that he's, loving it, doing well, and everything else. I think that speaks to what you and Donovan have done over the years to get him there.
It's something that every parent wants, but I like my kids. I like the people they've become. And, yes, I did make the effort to give them the foundation to be good people. But really, at the end of the day, it's up to them on what they do with it.
Yes, that's true.
And I just look at them and I really like them as well as love them. You know what I mean? And you want that as a parent, right?
Yes, that's awesome. I mean, I think that it actually gives me chills to hear you say that, because I think that is what we all want for our kids. We just want to see them grow into being good. We want them to always be good people, but to continue to grow into being good people when we're not around them all the time. So
I'm sure, we all make mistakes in life, and I'm sure their life isn't going to be charmed in any way. They're going to have their ups and downs, but, when I looked at them and they were playing together and they were actually getting along for 5 minutes, I was thinking to myself, wow, I made them.
Getting along for 5 minutes. I mean, that is real life right there. Shoving the stuff in the closet before everybody comes over, and the family getting along for 5 minutes. That right there.
That's me, girl. That's me.
Cool. Well, JoDee, thank you so much. As you mentioned your YouTube channel, people can follow you basically on all social media channels. I know I see you on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I'm not on TikTok yet, but I know that you're there too. So
girlfriend, let's get on TikTok. Let's do a TikTok together.
But before you go anywhere, we're going to play a little game, and I'm going to give you 3 clues to try to guess who is Monday's 20 Things You Don't Know About Me. So this is the original list version like you did. And here are her 3 clues. I'm a social media influencer and blogger. I also have a full-time job, which isn't social media and internet related. I've got a passion to empower women and encourage everyone to embrace who they are, their bodies, and their personalities. This is my favorite one. This isn't even going to help you, but I threw this next one in just because I think it's so funny. I grew up with a donkey. When I was 5 or so, I used to sit on a stool in a field with a box of tissues in my lap just to wipe the donkey's nose dry when it was wet.
Oh my God. Okay, so initially I was going to say Jessica Pelton.
No, but this is the last clue. I like to cook and bake, and I have a couple of Cooking with Lee episodes on IGTV.
Cooking with Lee. Erica Lee?
No, but that's a good one. She's coming up, but that's not who it is. Your colleagues, obviously, she's awesome on social media too, and she will be at 20 Things soon, but not Monday. So this person.
Well, you said Lee. That's the only reason why I said that. I don't think Erica has a blog, and I've never heard her talk about donkeys. But you know what? She's such a personality. I wouldn't put it past her.
I think she's Leigh, and this is Lea, but obviously we're just talking and not seeing it. Or I'm sorry, this is Leah. But yes, but anybody who has a guest can tweet at Just Times Union or tweet me at Just Kristi, and they can also comment on this video on the Times Union's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And then you and everybody else can find out on Monday morning at 7 a.m. when it goes live on timesunion.com. And she's a great, funny personality, and people will want to check her out on Monday morning.
You're going to leave me hanging, Kristi, just like everybody else?
I'm going to leave you hanging. Maybe you need to Google Cooking with Lee, IGTV.
I will.
A local woman who empowers people to have body confidence and just be overall confident.
Okay.
And she's a social media influencer, like big time numbers.
I think I might know. Oh, I don't know her name. Okay. I think I might know.
Saratoga, originally from Vermont.
This is killing me. You're pulling out the competitiveness in me. I'm like ready to Google.
I'm throwing little bits in.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
We'll check it out Monday.
Thank you
so much, JoDee.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun, Kristi, and I love you. I just love what you're doing. On social media, I get to see you all the time. I feel like you and I know each other, and we don't even know it. We've never even met. Well, one time we met in person, but you actually snuck up on me. You're like, I saw you, but I didn't want to talk to you. And I was like, what? You should have come up to me. But I was probably yelling at one of my kids. They were really young back then.
It is very cool to kind of see how things come around. I remember that too. I was a very young reporter just starting out, and everybody intimidated and scared me. So hopefully I've outgrown that now. Hopefully.
I'm sure you have.
Thanks again, JoDee.
Thank you.